What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nice number one coming guys another video. Coming at you guys for some breaking news out of Philadelphia. Some big breaking news out of Philadelphia. So the Eagles have just agreed to terms with Jalen Carter. They are resigning defensive tackle Jalen Carter to a 4-year deal worth up to $160 million. He is now officially the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. Well done. Worth every single penny. Jalen Carter is worth every single penny that he just got. This guy, since he came to the Eagles, has been a disruptive force. He has been a playmaker on that D-line alongside Jordan Davis, who also got paid, we know earlier this offseason. So the Eagles are keeping their two core defensive, core defensive linemen intact. Both of them are locked down on long-term contracts. Two Georgia boys, as a boy from Georgia myself, I couldn't be any happier. I'm very, very happy, that Jalen Carter deal got done. Jalen Carter is one of those guys that slipped to the Eagles in the draft. He should have been drafted earlier in that draft, but there was some teams were questioning his character and stuff. But overall, besides like a few instances here and there, particularly that incident against Dak last year, he has handled himself very well. The situation with Dak, I look at it, I understand why he was frustrated in that situation. That's something obviously you just got to control your emotions. But you go back and look at that play, I could that circumstance. I can understand why Jalen Carter was the situation with Dak. But yeah, when it comes to talent, there's no denying what a phenomenal talent this guy is, and I am beyond happy that they got the job done. He was going into his going into his 5th-year option. That the Eagles were going with his 5th-year option. They had to make a decision on whether or not they were gonna, if they were gonna keep him or trade him. I know the Myles Garrett trade from the Cleveland Browns that happened. The Eagles were. The Eagles were in the mix for that. Myles Garrett got traded to the Rams, of course, but the Eagles were interested in Myles Garrett, and the Browns said, in order for us to trade Myles Garrett to you guys, Jalen Carter got to be included in that deal. Howard Roseman said no, and that's a smart decision. As great as Myles Garrett is, Jalen Carter is a younger talent. Myles Garrett is at the edge of his prime. I think Myles Garrett has maybe 2 or 3 more years left in his prime, but he's at the edge of his prime. Of course, you stick with the younger talent that promising talent. That was the right decision by Howard Roseman. Jalen Carter is only 25 years old. Like I said, he fell to us a little bit. He was drafted by us out of Georgia, the ninth pick in 2023. Couple character issues caused him to drop a little bit lower than he should have been. But he's been he's been named to the Pro Bowl in both seasons. He has, 2003, 2004, he was named to the Pro Bowl. The season that we won the Super Bowl, he's just been an absolute disruptive force. When it comes to other defensive tackles in the league, there's maybe just 1 or 2. I think you can make an argument about right there with him. Of course, Chris Jones in Kansas City. Leonard Williams, I wouldn't quite put him up there with Jalen Carter, but he's a force as well. Derrick Brown's another one. Jeffrey Simmons with the Tennessee Titans, but Jalen Carter is easily a top 3 defensive tackle in the league. I wouldn't put myself personally. I would only put Chris Jones above him. That's the only guy I would say yes. But Jalen Carter, worth every single penny he just got here. He has been nothing but a playmaker for the Eagles. Obviously very fortunate we were able to get him when we got him back in 2023. He deserved every bit of this money. So congratulations, Jalen Carter. Let's get to work, boys. Football is right around the corner. Let's get to work. Congratulations on getting paid, Jordan Davis, and now Jalen Carter. Again, he is now the highest paid defensive tackle. Highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. It is a 4-year deal worth $160 million. Good to be back. I'm back now. Obviously I take a break during the off season, But football is right around the corner. We, of course, have training camp going on now. And, you know, I'm back doing these videos again. Football is right around the corner. But again, Eagles re-signed Jalen Carter to a 4-year deal worth up to $160 million. Every penny, he is worth every single penny. Congratulations, Jalen Carter. As always, go Birds. Spunky, 1991 is out of here. Fly, Eagle, fly. Peace.
That's all, folks.